In today's episode, we are going to cover Money Success Roadmap Stage 3. If you haven't listened to stages 1 and 2 yet, go back and start with those. It's episode 92 and 93. Then come back to this one. So, we are talking about the Money Success Roadmap, how to get from where you're at to where you want to be with your finances because it can feel so overwhelming. Before we dive into that, I do want to let you know that this episode is brought to you by the free Money Plan Bootcamp, which is my 5-step framework to creating a money plan that you can actually stick to. It starts next week, but you do have to sign up to join us and to get in all the giveaways and prizes and all the fun that we will be having for the next couple of weeks. It all starts on Sunday with the welcome party on October 16th. So come join us there live. Sign up at budgetsmadeeasy.com/bootcamp. I hope to see you there. Now, in today's episode, we are going to cover stage 3. So, stage 3 is called confident. You are, starting to feel very confident in your mindset, in your spending habits, and how to improve it. Remember, you're not going to be perfect. Nobody is. And also a reminder that you are not in more than one stage at a time. So if you still have not completed all of the action steps in stage 1 or 2, you go back to the stage that you have not completed. Once you complete all the action steps and milestones in one stage, then you move to the next. Now, if you've already completed some of the next, awesome, great, you've got a head start. Complete them in that stage and then move on to the next. You are not in more than one stage at a time. Remember, we're trying to reduce overwhelm. You're focusing on one thing at a time. Also, remember, this is the Money Success Roadmap that we use and implement inside of Money Success Club. So there are trainings and workbooks, and we go way more in depth into what you need to do. But this is a very good overview of the roadmap and the stages for you to go ahead and take action until Money Success Club is open again. So in this stage, you have your plan. You're getting your confidence up, your mind, you're working on your mindset and those limiting beliefs and those things that you think about yourself and about money that are holding you back and causing you to overspend. You're starting to get excited that you can save money and you can pay off debt, and you are starting to have less of those financial setbacks and financially, and the mental setbacks as well, right? Because they kind of go together. When things pop up, we get set back mentally as well as financially. At this stage, you're really working on and doing things where you won't be set back so far when things come up, because of course it's life, things are going to come up. So in this stage, you're really focusing on making a plan for those bigger purchases. So do you need to do some home repairs? Do you need a higher price item like a washer and dryer? Do you need to replace your car? Or do you need to start thinking about it, right? That maybe in the next 2 to 3 years, you got to start planning for how you're going to replace your car. You are making sure that you're paying the appropriate amount in taxes. So you're not overpaying and getting a huge refund at the end of the year, and you don't have enough money month to month or paycheck to paycheck. You need that extra money now. You're making sure that you are not underpaying your taxes either, especially if you're self-employed or you have a second job. You need to make sure that you don't end up owing money at the end of the year either. You are checking on your insurance policies. Do you have life insurance? Do you have the proper coverage for your car and your house? And of course, your life insurance. Do you have the right amount? Do you have the right policies? Do you have, a deductible that you can actually meet? So maybe you can shop around and get a lower price, all those types of things. So you're thinking about the bigger picture items in this stage. See, and keep in mind that I have not started talking about saving for an emergency fund. I haven't started talking about paying off debt. This is kind of the basic stuff. So we're taking it slow so that you can have long-term success. But you are, in this stage, you're getting excited, you're seeing what's possible, you're starting to make those bigger changes that are going to lead you toward that long term success. So, the action items in this stage, you're going to make a list of higher price items that you're going to need in the relative future. So we're talking like 5 years or less. Things that you need to start thinking about, planning for how you're going to pay for it, and it doesn't have to be month to month, or maybe it is. Maybe you save $100 a month, and then when you have that extra paycheck, or if you get a bonus, a tax refund, you sell something, then you put that money toward that higher priced item if that's what you choose to do. So you're starting to really map out how you're going to pay for these things. You are checking on your insurance policy. So check with your insurance agent, see, make sure that you have the proper coverage, make sure that you don't need anything else or that you can get rid of something. Maybe you're overinsured. Just kind of check on those policies, check with your insurance agent in your state, and make sure you have the proper coverage. I also want you to go to the IRS withholdings calculator website. Make sure that you are on track for making sure that you are saving or you're paying the appropriate amount in taxes. And if at this point, at this recording, this is October, and so maybe you're already getting a huge refund. And if you keep your withholdings the same for the rest of the year, it's going to be an even bigger refund. Maybe you want to adjust it for the rest of this year and then change it back in January. Of course, I am not a tax professional, so check with yours to make sure that you're paying the appropriate amount in taxes. And now I want you to determine your savings goal. So, what do you want to have saved as your basic emergency fund? This isn't going to cover all things, right? But $1,000 minimum. 500 is a good start if you've never saved before and 1,000 feels like a huge mountain to climb. Start with 500, then work toward 1,000 because that's just 500 twice, right? If you can do 500 once, you can do it twice. If you have any major life events coming up that you need to save for, a move, having a child, do you expect a job loss? Are you going to be out of work for a season? Are you going to have surgery? Do you work a seasonal job where maybe in the wintertime there's not as much work? Do you need to plan for that? So starting to think about what your savings goal is going to look like. And I also want you to make sure that you're saving for medical costs. So do you have with your employer, or do you have the ability to get an HSA or an FSA or both? And do you need to be saving in those? So those are pre-tax, and you can save money on your taxes as well because it comes out before they take out your taxes. So that's another way to save there. So those are your action steps, your milestones. So once you've completed all those action steps, these milestones, you get to move to stage 4. So the milestones, you've saved $200 every month on your bills. So that's, we talked about that in stage 2, finding ways to save. So in stage 3, you are doing it. You have found a way and you have done it where you are saving $200 a month. You've got the proper insurance policies in place. So you know what you need. You've got the coverage. You're not overinsured. You're not underinsured. You have identified your sinking funds, which are just savings funds for those needed big purchases, how you're going to save for it, where you're going to save for it, and kind of put that plan in place. Now in stage 3, we're going to work on our 1-year plan with SMART goals. So before I talked about, stage 1, it's 1 month, stage 2, it's 6 months. Now in stage 3, we're going to think a little bit longer. So we need to make a plan for a year. What is your 1-year plan with SMART goals? And now you might be thinking, I need to save $2,000 and I want to pay off $6,000 in credit card debt in the next year, or maybe even more than that, right? So you have created a specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, timely goal. So the year is timely. The specific is the number that you want to save, the number that you want to pay off in debt. It's the maybe you want to in the next year save in cash for a trip that you want to take, and you need to set a specific savings goal amount for that. That's specific and it's measurable. And you are paying and or saving the proper amount for your income taxes. So if you're self-employed or you have a side hustle, you're underpaying in through your regular job or maybe your second job, and you've got to save more for your taxes. You have a plan in place. You know how much you need to save, and you're saving for that. And one way to think about that as well, if you do have to save, if you do normally pay in at the end of the year on your taxes, that is not your money. Put it in a separate account. Do not even think of it as being an option to use. So that has helped me these past couple of years where I have to pay in every year. I no longer get a tax refund. So I set the money aside, and then when I pay my taxes, then I give myself my own little tax refund. But I'm not having to wait on the government to do that for me. Now, whew, that's pretty doable, right? So, stage one, two, and three, you can move through that very quickly. So, stage one, two, and three, I want you to have that done in less than 3 months. Like, you can really focus on each stage and move through it relatively quickly. I mean, realistically, if you really set down the time and focus and you're intentional with what you are doing, you can get through stage three, one, two, and three, have them done in, 6 weeks. But I'll give you 3 months. I want these done within 3 months so that you can move on to stage four and five. And that's where you're really going to start focusing on saving and paying off debt so you can get to stage six where you have that financial freedom and you have the ability to do what you want, save for what you want, and you have the time and money freedom to be able to do the things that you can't do right now because of the debt and because you're not managing your day-to-day finances, and you're moving past that overwhelm and feeling like you don't know what to do, which leads to that confidence, which is why stage three is called confident, because you really do need to believe in yourself and believe in your ability to do this so that you can make that progress and keep doing what you need to do to move on to the next stage. Now, again, you are not in more than one stage at a time. If you have not completed all the action steps and milestones for the previous stages, you have to do that first. Now, reminder, we are doing the money plan boot camp. It starts next week. It starts Sunday with the welcome live. There are going to be prizes, live trainings. I'm going to walk you through my 5-step framework for creating a money plan that you can actually stick to. You don't have to join me live every time. I know that you're busy. You will be able to watch the replay. But you do have to sign up. So if you want to even have the ability to watch the replays, get in for the giveaways, the prizes, all the fun stuff that we are doing as well, you do have to sign up to get in on that action. budgetsmadeeasy.com/bootcamp. And I hope to see you there. I am really looking forward to it. If you can't tell, I'm excited. I am so excited to spend this time with you, teaching you and getting you to create a realistic plan that's going to work for you and your family. Because remember, it's not a one-size-all thing. I will talk to you guys tomorrow where I will cover stage 4. We are going to have some fun with that one. See you soon.